Sometimes we take leadership and we take good people and we just beat them like a dead horse. That's not a good thing. Let's don't do that anymore, okay?
Hello, I'm Kevin Birchelman, and welcome to The Brazen Leader. Brazen leadership is about leading boldly and without shame. It's about leading from the front, outwardly and decisively. Every week, we'll get in the trenches here about real leadership, so watch, enjoy, and be brazen.
Leadership and the dead horse, or Pony Express in bizarro world. High performers, key employees, high potentials, high pose. Whatever the moniker du jour, you know whom I speak. Those who carry their own weight with ease and generally go far beyond the basic requirements of their position, role, or responsibilities. They routinely deliver to us that elusive holy grail, discretionary effort. In short, they're great. We need them. They're keepers. Why then don't we take exceptional efforts in making sure we keep them? We spend countless hours, sometimes days, weeks, months, on Pareto's 80% that only produce 20%. Why on earth don't we focus as intently on that 20% doing all the work, or at least significantly more than their proportionate share? We should be. And if all indications in the current employment environment hold true, we damn sure better be, and we better be doing it soon. Good news, it isn't all that hard. Here are 3 suggestions. None are rocket surgery, and none are so new and cutting-edge thinking that you've never heard or thought of them before for yourselves. For example, number 1, recognize them. Okay, I know you've heard it before. High performers know who they are, and they really do know that they contribute substantially more than most others. They may not broadcast it, they may not thump their chests or promote themselves incessantly like some of your more mediocre performers do, but they are very self-aware, and they recognize their abilities and the subsequent impact they have on the organization. What they don't know is, do you know? So stop. Whatever you're doing right now, well, meaning of course after you finish watching or listening to this value-packed piece, and go recognize one of those of those key employees. Go recognize one of them. And yes, there is a trick to it, or at least maybe a better way to accomplish that effort. No vague generalities here, not with this person. No, nothing like, good job lately, Stephen, or thanks for all you do, Stephanie. No, remember, these folks already know they do good work. They neither want nor need your affirmation, just some simple, specific recognition. So, John, I noticed how smoothly you managed the Bunko Group's recent transaction. Sure made my life easier, and I appreciate it. Or, wow, Alyssa, if you can keep those old conveyors running like you do, we'll really bust through this year's numbers. Something like that. Specificity matters with these folks. They need to know that you really know. Number 2, you've got to deal with those lesser beings. Now, in all fairness, most of your employees fit the lesser category when compared strictly to these hard chargers that we're talking about now, speaking solely on performance. So no, I don't mean whack everyone else, though truthfully, no, scratch that. I don't mean that. I do mean that you should promptly and violently deal with substandard performers. Nothing irks a high performer more than seeing someone else being tolerated and paid for doing work that everyone knows, wink, wink, is substandard or less than required. You got to deal with these bottom dwellers quickly and with gusto. It matters. Number 3, don't beat them to death. The high performers, I mean. Substandard folks, and go ahead. We have this terrible habit in organizations today. The reward for really good, hard work is, you guessed it, more work. Why doesn't that sound like found money to me? Those who do less, we ultimately seem to require less. What? Folks, that's seriously upside down. Stop it. For those doing substantially less, go back and re-listen to the second bullet above. Then define expectations clearly Give them a yardstick with which to measure, then manage the heck out of their performance, up or out. No hanger honors. As importantly, find some way to reward those uber-worthy performers with something other than added workload. I must admit, it feels strange needing to remind anyone of that. Amp up the challenges, stretch their thinking, take them a bit out of their comfort zone, developing them further. They like that, they'll appreciate it, and you will ultimately continue receiving that discretionary effort we hold so dear. Just stop riding them to death. My best friend calls this riding high performers to death phenomenon the reverse Pony Express syndrome. That's where we keep riding the same old tired horse, changing out with fresh riders at each stop. If that sounds a bit dumb, it's because, well, it is. If this is some value to you, please help me out by liking and subscribing below. Thanks for being here with me today, and be brazen, remembering that grace and accountability can coexist.